Hey guys, today we're going to talk about product development. And this is one of my favorite topics. I'm kind of bummed that we're not at school right now to go through this whole process. But we'll try to get you some highlights so that you can do some research this week on what some of the new products are that are out there and maybe get some ideas of other new products. So this number is a little bit old, but I think it illustrates in 2006, there were almost 105,000 new food products and drinks that were launched around the world. Think about that, 105,000 new products in addition to what's already on the market. That's about 300 new products every single day. Only 30 to 50,000 of those will actually succeed and stay on the shelf. I'm one of those people that I don't usually buy a lot of things until I see that it's going to be around for a little while. Kind of weird, but I don't want to like something and then not be able to find it. Um, you know, there's a whole bunch of reasons why these products come out and fail. But these companies are spending 12 to 15 months on average just researching and developing the product. So they better make sure that it's actually going to work if it goes onto the market because they've spent a lot of time and money. To give you an example, when I was younger, they came out with ketchup that was either purple or green, and you would think that would be kind of fun for kids, but it failed miserably. Kids didn't want to eat green ketchup or purple ketchup because ketchup's supposed to be red. My kids are the same way at home. Could be the same exact product, but they're not interested. Think about green eggs and ham. Some people refuse to eat that, even though it's the same product, just with a different color. So product development's a pretty important topic for a company because they need to come up with something that's actually going to stick around. So, what products did 2019 bring? Think about that for a second. What are some new things that you bought or ate last year on the market? I'm going to share some examples with you. I got to keep moving along because I only have 15 minutes to record. Take a look over here on the right-hand side of the screen first. This is the Impossible Foods. This is a plant-based pork up here. I have a hard time with them calling it pork because it doesn't come from a pig, but it's all plant products. This is the Impossible Whopper, also made by Impossible Foods. That's a discussion, a whole different discussion for another day, and we'll probably get to that. Um, but these plant-based proteins are becoming extremely popular. The fastest growing source of protein in the world, non-meat, non-animal meat, is crickets. That's kind of an interesting thing. So cricket flour has become very popular in other parts of the world. These other snacks I just threw on here to get you thinking about things that are new. When we say new food products, we don't mean something that's brand new. Kit Kats have been around forever, but the Duos with the mint, that's a new product. Raspberries have been around forever, but finding a way to package it and keep raspberries for a long time when you coat them in chocolate, that's new. Starburst, they put two flavors together. So a lot of times companies are just trying to come up with a new variation of a product that's already out there. So there's several there's categories of new products. Those that are completely new, something that we've never seen before. Those products are rare because there's so many things out there already. Then there's line extensions of current products. Think about that Kit Kat. They've found a way to maybe appeal to a different audience with the mint flavor. Shamrock shakes. McDonald's has had shakes forever, but every time Shamrock shakes come out, my daughter insists that we go get one because it's a spring thing. It's just a line extension. Same product but repositioned. Maybe they try to sell it in a different place instead of I don't know, instead of it being tucked away in one aisle of the grocery store, maybe they try to make it a grab and go snack that you grab right up by the cash register. Or maybe it's sold on the internet so that they can get out to a wider variety of people. And then improvements of current products. This would be new flavors or things like that, just changing a new product. Or, a new movie comes out, a new kids movie comes out, and so they make a cereal shaped like the characters. Those would be improvements of current products. Okay, so how does a new product get created? Like I said, it's a 12 to 15-month process. It takes a really long time, and there's a huge team of people at companies that spend their time coming up with these new products. So it starts though with the idea phase, brainstorming, being creative, and trying to come up with something that nobody else has come up with. And in the end, we get a product that people hopefully want to buy. So this week, you're going to spend some time researching trends, what's been happening, what are some of the new products that have come out in the last year or two, and then you're going to try to come up with some creative ideas. These aren't ideas that you're going to be able to do at your house necessarily, but I just want you to start thinking outside of the box. The product development team at a food company, there's a ton of different people involved in it. So you can see the technology and quality, things like engineering the product, the package, making sure it's safe. How long does it last on the shelf? What do you have to package it in? Who's going to eat it? What needs to be on the label? There are federal laws about what has to be on the label. Marketing, that's the business side of it. How are we going to sell it to people? What are we going to put on the package to make it appealing? How are we going to advertise it? What promotions are we going to give? And then there's the manufacturing side. How are we actually going to make this product in a factory and get it out to people? So I'm going through this pretty quickly, but this is a really long process that companies put a lot of time into. So they're going to come up with their idea of a product. They're going to figure out how to actually make it or implement it, and then they're going to roll it out or introduce it to the market. Okay, so let's go through these steps. And we're going to kind of go through these steps over the next, 8 weeks, 7 weeks, however much time it is that we have left. Um, so first of all, decide, brainstorm ideas, explore the market, look at future trends. What are people wanting? What do you think the trends are right now in 2020? I've got some stuff for you to do this week. I think you're going to be surprised. Some of the things are products you've never heard of or flavors you've never heard of. But food companies are predicting what you're going to want to eat 2 or 3 years from now. And so they're inside your brain already trying to figure out what the consumer is going to want. The next step is discover. How can you make your product unique? I'm sorry about the typo. I didn't catch that. Identify what consumers need and how can you meet it. If we looked at our school as a target market here, what are some products missing from our school? What would students here want to be able to purchase at school? I'm guessing they'd want more beverage options. I'm guessing they'd want some different snack options. So you kind of look at the market that you're trying to sell to. And then define. You actually have to develop a recipe or a product formula and then make it. In other industries, they call that a prototype, but you make a sample of the product and then you test it out. You have people try it and you tweak it. It's not hey, I made these cookies and they're great, let's sell them. They go through months and months of chemical analysis and taste testing to try to get the perfect recipe. They think about what additives and preservatives do we need to put in to make this last a long time. How do we get it to last on the shelf? I don't want to buy a product, especially think right now. I did my grocery shopping the Saturday before we found out that we were going to be out of school for a little while, and I was hoping that stuff was going to last us for several weeks. How do you find products or how do you make products that last more than 5 to 7 days on the shelf? And then packaging. How do you package a product to make it appealing, to make it something that people want to buy, to make it that lasts a long time? Just a quick example, SunChips came out with a new bag several years ago, and it was a bag that was supposed to be very like eco-friendly. It broke down very quickly in the environment and it didn't build up in landfills. So they were going kind of with that social theme of our bags are good for the environment. The bag made a really funny sound when you opened it or moved it around. It made a weird noise, and the sales of SunChips almost dropped in half when they introduced that new bag. So they had to go away from it. They had the best intentions, but could not make money selling a package like that. Okay, the next steps: develop. Take the product. Once again, sorry, trying to get stuff ready for you, and I missed a few things. Take the product from the idea to the final stage. So they make the prototype, the final recipe, they design the package, they test it out with a target group, they make sure it's going to last and it's going to be safe for people to eat. And then they deploy, they create that marketing plan, they create the advertisements, they decide, are you going to pay money for supermarkets to put this in a certain place in the grocery store? Companies pay slotting fees. Those slotting fees give them a certain spot on the shelf at the grocery store. So like if you want to be on an end cap, if you want your product to be on an end cap, the end of an aisle, you have to pay more for that. If you want your product to be at eye level for most people, you have to pay more for that. So those are things that companies will work through. They'll figure out how they produce enough supply to meet demand. They figure out the price, how to ship it, how to store it. All of those things come into play with product development. Once they get through that, the scale up and the trial, they need to scale this up so that they can actually sell it in large batches and get it out to the consumer. I left these slides on here. I deleted some other stuff, but I just want you to see there's so much stuff that needs to be done to get a product out to the market. So we're going to simulate some of these steps, and we're going to do the best we can at home. We'll be a little bit creative. We'll use things that you have at home to try to come up with a product. It's going to be different than it was here at school, but I think we can still come up with some creative and unique ideas. Everything that we do, I want to be within reason. So one of the assignments today, you're going to do, look around at some different articles I found online about trends, flavor trends and product trends in the year 2020. And then I want you to make a product at home. It's a s'more kebab. It's something that one of my classes made when I first started teaching in the Twin Cities. And I actually make it all the time with my kids at home. They love it. We make it on the 4th of July. We make it at Christmas with Christmas sprinkles. But if you don't have the supplies at home, don't go out and buy stuff. Okay? Send me an email. Maybe we can be creative. We can use different stuff. Or I put a picture in there. Worst case scenario, you look at the picture and you answer the questions based on what you see. But it's pretty good. So if you have the stuff at home and it works for you to make it, I'd recommend you do it. It'll give you something fun to try. So when you get done with this, you should open up the product development introduction assignment, work through that, and upload it to Google Classroom when you're done. I'd love to see pictures of your s'more kebabs if you are able to make them. Have a great day.